Hello, my mindful adventurers. Are you ready for your weekly dose of the blog post? This week is the third week of softening month. The first week we talked about softening into our own power and protecting those soft, supple parts of ourselves. Last week was the second week, and we talked about reading signs and synchronicities from the universe, from the creator, however you identify with divinity, and how to vet it to see if it's something that actually applies to you or maybe applies to someone else. And this week we are talking about boundaries for the 13,000th time. But again, a lot of us are taught how to set boundaries, and these boundaries are keeping you exclusive, right? Because real quick before I dive into this, my name is Jamila Luckett. I'll be your guide, your speaker, your editor, your everything right here at a Mindful Adventure. Because it's just me doing this. I do it for you guys for free because I love you guys, and I have a lot of things that I feel like I can share with you guys to help you. So I hope you guys stick around for a mindful adventure. Also, you know, join the community because it's a community, and we're all doing things. So let's go ahead and begin. Right. So basically, exclusivity is not about being snobby. It's not about being an asshole. It's not about blocking out everybody or being cold hearted. It has nothing to do with any of those things. It's literally a requirement to stay true to ourselves, to learn more about ourselves, and to build an intimacy with ourselves. When we're exclusive, we're keeping ourselves in, not keeping out everybody. We're keeping in the parts of us, those soft, supple parts. When we soften, right? We're keeping that protected with being exclusive. We're being infatuated with ourselves, not narcissism, right? We're not talking about fuck the whole world, it's just me. No, we're talking about loving ourselves so then we can better love other people. Because if you're trying to deepen your relationship with other people, the only way you could possibly do that is by deepening the relationship with yourself. You cannot meet anybody deeper than you met yourself, and we're going to talk about that in the next section. But I just want you guys to know, you aren't closing off. You're curating. You're curating yourself. You're evolving and showing up for yourself in a new, more profound way than you've probably ever in your entire life. And that's such a wonderful thing, because when we show up for ourselves, we learn how to show up for ourselves. We are the first people we get to practice on, right? When we show up with ourselves with love, compassion, and nurturing, we can then also show up with other people with love, compassion, and nurturing, and really truly feel it deep down in our bones. Not just say, oh, I'm loving, compassion, and nurturing, but you're actually I know what it feels like to show up for somebody in that way because I've done it for myself. And now you can do it for other people. So we're the prototype before we interact with other people, right? So let's go ahead and get into infatuation with the self, because I feel like I said, that sounds like narcissism, and that's not what I'm talking about here, at all. So basically, when let's say there's because let's say we're gonna use an example of a banquet, of a feast, of food, because I feel like that's we've been talking about monarchs for a little bit, and I figured might as well go ahead. I mean, what king or queen doesn't like a nice feast, right? Away from all the peasants, riffraff. I'm not saying anybody's a peasant or anybody's riffraff. We're all kings and queens in our own right, or monarch in our own right. Of course, if you do not identify, that's fine. We're inclusive here. I love my peoples. I love all the peoples. um, but let's say you have a banquet, you have a feast, right? You don't just invite all the common folk and then expect the nobility or whoever else to show up and there be anything really left for them, because there's not going to be anything left for them because you've literally let everybody have it. So let's say you only have an example that I have on here is shortbread, because I had a dream about some shortbread and stuff. But anywho, let's say you got a little plate of shortbread. I don't have any plates. I don't know why I looked around like that. I have plates on me. Anyway, let's say you have a plate of shortbread, right? And you got some shortbread cookies, shortbread cookies, or if you're from the UK, then biscuits. But let's say you have some shortbread and you have a bunch of it, and then you really want to give it to one person or to like maybe a couple people, but then you give it to everybody, right? And then when you finally get to those people that you truly want to give it to, you might have crumbs left, or you might have like fraction of pieces left, or pieces that people will bit off and put back, right? Because some people are nasty. But you can't give them anything because you don't have it anymore. You've literally invited everybody in and they've ravaged the fucking plate. And now there's nothing left for the people that you intended or wanted them to have. So, with that in mind, right? You have a feast, right? You got all this food and you invite everybody. One, like I said last week, not and the week before that, and a couple weeks before that too, not everybody is worthy of all of you. And not everybody should get access to all of you. So having people come in and devour that feast when you haven't even invited the people that you actually want to be a part of that feast, you're doing yourself and those other people a disservice because you're literally washing yourself up. You're getting yourself to a point where you're not able to even like function in a way that you want to function anymore. You're now used. I'm not saying like, you're used like that, but I'm saying like it's, I'm sorry, but if I'm invited to a feast and I get there and there's scraps, I'm leaving. I don't want to be there for that. Like, let me know when you got food next time because I thought I was going to come and eat, and now there ain't nothing there to eat, and I'm not about that. Just being honest, right? Like, if you were invited to a feast, if you're invited to a dinner, and you got there and there was nothing because a bunch of other people came through and ate everything, wouldn't you kind of feel like, damn, why did you invite me then? If you were just gonna let everybody else fucking eat all that shit, right? Same fucking concept here with ourselves because you can't run yourself dry, run yourself ragged for other people and expect you yourself to even ready for the people that you actually want to be ready for. That's not possible. You can't give what you don't have, right? Like, so people come in, eat all the feast, leave scraps and stuff. That's all you got. You got scraps. And I'm pretty sure the people that you invited don't want scraps. They probably want whole pieces of meat. They want whole pieces of vegetable. They want whole sides. They want whole, glasses of wine. Whatever you got going on. Not leftover little swigs of shit. Like, that's, in my opinion, that's disrespectful as fuck. So, yeah. So you're meeting yourself deeply, right? Like I said earlier, you cannot meet people deeper than you've met yourself. So, like, if you've only met yourself at a shallow level, like, this is what I look like, these are my favorite colors, I like this animal, but not like this is how I respond in these situations. This is my behavior when certain things happen, or this is how I conduct my life. Like, this is how I wanted to conduct my life, so I'm going to put in the effort to do so. If you're not meeting yourself at those levels, you're not going to be able to meet other people at those levels. Like, you're going to be shallow as fuck. All you care about is superficial things on the outside. um what people like, you don't really care about what people don't like because you've never even like sat and thought about what you don't like because you're letting in everything. And when you let in everything, then there is not very much of a distinction between things that you like and things that you don't like. Plain and simple. So meet yourself at a deeper level, like be intimate with yourself. I'm going to put that up here, that self-intimacy video, because I have it, and then the blog post will be down below because I really want you guys to really get intimate with yourself. Like, don't skimp out on this. Don't think that, oh, intimate with yourself, that sounds silly. No, that's how you benefit yourself. That's how you live your best life, is to be intimate with yourself, right? So basically, when you become infatuated with yourself, you are now taken by yourself. Like, you know how like in Viking culture, like they take their wives. They're like, I want her, I'm taking her, we're leaving. You know what I mean? So like, you're basically doing that with yourself. You're basically taking yourself and you're marrying yourself. You're getting intimate with yourself. You are learning all the intricate ins and outs and stuff about yourself, how you learn, how you teach, how you experience life, how you interact with certain people, how you interact with the riffraff, how you interact with shit you don't like, how you interact with things you do like. How do you, things that I can go on, right? But you're basically learning all your preferences. You're learning what it means to be yourself. Like, my name is Jamila. I mean, I said that earlier. So I'm like, I'm learning what it means to be Jamila. I'm learning what it means. Like, what does she like? What does she not like? What does she prefer? Is there something from her past that like is holding her back? Like, should I be working on that? Is there, what is Jamila going through that I need to be here for? Because I need to be here for myself. First and foremost, I am a soul having a human. I mean, I'm a cosmic fucking being having a mortal experience within this body, and I will never be this person ever again. So I want to know everything I possibly can know about this body, about this person that I am. I know it sounds like I'm talking out of body. I kind of am talking out of body because this is my soul here. I want to learn as much as I can while I'm here, and that includes taking care of myself. That includes showing up for myself. That includes getting intimate with myself when others aren't. Like, right? Like, when you're single, when you're not, maybe you don't have a lot of friends, maybe you like you're kind of like a asocial, because antisocial is actually really scary. um Maybe you're asocial, maybe you don't really get out like that, maybe you don't have a lot of friends. Take this time, maybe you want friends, right? I want friends. Look, I want some really good friends. I want friends that would be like there for me 24 fucking 7, right? I can tell anything to, and I can talk to about anything. But I'm in a period right now, or I have friends. I do have friends where I can talk to about most things, right? But I don't have like those soul connections that I'm like really looking for. So in that space between having other friends, right, and then having new friends, I'm learning like how I show up for myself so that I can better integrate with another person, like integrate with another person's life. And like, when you become friends with people, you take on a little bit of their stuff and they take on a little bit of your stuff, and you guys like take on each other's stuff together. So take this time to like figure out what your vision is, what you want to do for your kingdom, for your body, for your life. Because your life is your kingdom. Your life is your temple, your sanctuary, your everything. So what drives you? What motivates you? What gets you up in the morning? Like, these are the type of things that we want to be taken by. These are the type of things we want to be infatuated. These are the type of things we want to be so involved with that other people's shit doesn't even fucking phase you, because why does it matter? I got me. I got what I have. I know who I am, even without them. I know who I am, right? Like, you're not just a son, daughter, child. Like, you're not just a parent. You're not just a teacher. You're not just a doctor. You're not just a firefighter, astronaut. I don't know who's watching this, but you're not your occupation. You are not your relationship. You are who you are. Like, I am Jamila. Say it with me. Well, obviously, your name is Jamila, whatever. But say it with me. I am Jamila. Put in your name, obviously. Say it and feel it. Maybe you gotta pat your chest, but just feel it within your bones, because you are who you are. And that comes with that has nothing to do with anybody, right? Of course, your experiences dictate, things that you do right now, and that's fine, because, life is life and life be lifing. And sometimes life really fucks you up and you have to heal from that. And see, that's another thing you gotta like be taken by, the healing process. Like, I want to heal so I can feel better, so that I can better conduct myself in all these situations that I want to find myself in, right? So when you're taken, just to sum up that section, when you're taken by yourself, you are no longer available for the low vibration, for the riffraff, for the peasants, for the things that don't serve you and don't benefit you in any way, shape, or form. Next part. So, we're going to talk about the difference between the lap of luxury and a scarcity rescue, because luxury is only luxury because it's exclusive to like a certain amount of people, right? And let's say you are in a situation where you're, well, I'm not going to say let's say, because I feel like a lot of people are. I feel like if you're watching this, you probably at some point did have a scarcity mindset around something. Like, it doesn't even have to be about money. It could have been anything. It could have been relationships. It could have been food. It could have been shelter. It could literally be anything, right? But hold on a second. Let me take it back. Let me take it back. I'm looking at the notes. I'm trying to stay on point, right? So sometimes we say yes to an opportunity or a person because it looks like luxury, because it looks like something that you want, right? Like, my brain just immediately went to, I don't know if you guys watch Game of Thrones. I just started watching it. I'm in season 6, I think. I'm in season 6 of Game of Thrones. But in the beginning, sorry if this is a spoiler for you, I'm sorry. Just skip like a minute maybe, and then I'll not be talking about. But in the beginning, um, Sansa Stark, the redhead, the Stark girls, she was taken by Joffrey. She was like, oh my god. Well, she was taken because she wanted to be taken. She was like, he's everything I ever wanted. He's all of these things, and then come to find out, Joffrey's a fucking monster. He is. He's the last person you should be engaged to or getting married to. Like, he psychologically tortured her. Like, he got her completely fucked up. Um, so sometimes something seems like she wanted to be queen, right? She wanted to be queen of the realms, right? She wanted that. She wanted the title, the status, the luxury. But she didn't realize that that person that she would be tied to is actually a piece of shit. Honestly, I mean, fuck, right? And there's other things that she goes through, but she was still like, I still want him. I still want him. Why do you want something that literally is fucking up your life? You know what I'm saying? So like, just because something is present, like it looks good, that's really you acting in scarcity. Like, when am I gonna ever get this opportunity again? Right? Like, I mean, I don't know when she would have gotten the opportunity again, but she was a fucking lady. Like, she was nobility. She could have literally married into any fucking kingdom or house or anything like that. But she wanted to be queen of everything, and it cost her her sanity, right? Almost cost her her virginity. It, like, fucked her up. So like, just because something looks good, right? It might be fool's gold. Like, it might, like, fool's gold looks like it's pyrite is actual name. It looks like gold, but it's not. It's not gold at all. And a lot of people thought it was gold back in the day, and then they realized this is not gold. This is not the same thing as gold. Totally different. It's really brittle. It falls apart pretty easily. I mean, gold's pretty malleable too, but pyrite is even more shitty. So like, you need to identify where your scarcity is. Like, where are you so willing to jump on board for something without fully vetting it and seeing if it's something that works for you? If something that even, because like, if Sansa would have waited, if she just would have waited until bro became king, she would have realized, oh, I don't want that. I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to be involved with that. I didn't want any part of that. Like, she could have backed out, but she's also like a 13-year-old kid, so like, what 14-year-old kid, I think. So like, what were we supposed to expect, from a 13, 14-year-old, you know anyway. So identify the cage. Like, identify if something is actually good for you or or a distraction from your divine path. Like, you can't just jump on the first fucking thing that you, let's say you've been wanting something. Let's say I'm just gonna keep going with relationships because it seems easy. Let's say you want a relationship, right? Let's say you wanna find your person, right? And let's say someone comes along and they seem like they're that person. You start to get to know them. They seem cool. You guys are talking, and then after a while they start doing shit you don't like, and you're like, but we'll just see what happens. And then you keep going, and then you get to a point where like, now this person's asking you to be with them, and you're like, oh my god, yes. And then you like take that on. The reason why I'm saying this is because I had this happen to me. And you take that on, and then you get more deeper into the relationship, and then you're like, you're not, well, you're kind of forcing yourself to love that person, and then you realize that actually this is not what I wanted, but you're like, I'm so deep in it, I might as well just keep going. And then you keep going, and it just gets worse and worse and worse, and next thing you know, you got a plan to escape. That, I've been there, done that. I'm not doing that shit again, right? Not doing that shit again. So like, take time to see if it's a cage. It might be a gilded cage. When you got a fucking king to a fucking kingdom, your dream life waiting right around the corner, but because you're so caught up in this fucking golden cage, you're like, oh my god, it's gold. Oh my god, it's bigger than the cage I was in. It looks better. Ah! But then you don't realize that you actually really got the king the key to the kingdom, which is not a cage. Okay, it comes with land, title, money, people, like people that you can build a relationship with that could, really respect you, fight for you. You know what I mean? But you're willing to give it all up for a cage, girl. Okay, I say girl because, like I said, I went through some shit. All right, I went through some fucking shit, and I'm not doing it again. So turning things down so when you turn things down that distract you from your divine path, it's like a soft no. It's like a no, like this isn't it. And the universe is also telling you too, if you pay attention to the signs, that this ain't it, honey. Like if you pay close enough attention, the universe will tell you if things are for you or not for you. And by the universe, I mean creation. I mean the creator. I mean the creator when I say this. I'm trying to get away from saying the universe because the universe is the creation of the creator, and the creator is the one that created it, so it doesn't make sense to say that. And I've said this before already, but I don't know why I'm explaining it right now. It doesn't make any sense for me to explain it like that, but yeah. Also, sorry if like my explanation about Sansa went too long and you're like, oh my god, I know everything. Well, you don't know everything because I didn't say everything, but anywho. So yeah, turning things down from a place of abundance, not arrogance, not from a place of um, well, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like you're more of a like, I realize where I stand, I realize where I desire to stand, and that's just not where I'm trying to go. So I'm turning it down because it's just not right for me, at least in this moment in time, right? And that's how we should be handling like the scarcity that we have, like, and like, taking a step back, taking some deep breaths, some grounding breaths, maybe some of those kind of like ragged breaths, like I talked about a while ago. I'll put the blog post in YouTube, the blog post down below, and the YouTube video up here. Oh yeah, I forgot to say again. I keep forgetting. It's 20 minutes in, just like last time. I forgot to tell you that there is the blog post down below. If at any point I'm not making sense, or you feel like you would rather read the information or get a better or get a complete, you should be reading and watching both of these things. I'm not gonna lie. To get a complete image of what it is that I'm talking about, go ahead and go down below into the description. The blog post is titled Exclusivity as a Medicine, Protecting Your Sanctuary from the Static, because we're protecting our sanctuary from the static. So if you want to go read that, go ahead and do that. You want to come back, the link to the blog post, link to this video is at the bottom of that blog post, so you'll find what you're looking for wherever you go. So I hope that helps you guys out. Okay, but back to what I was talking about. So we want to like say no to the things that are distracting us from our goals. Like, let's say, like, maybe you really want to start a business, right? And you're starting your business, and then every fucking night your friends are like, let's go party, let's go to the club, let's get smashed, let's go, and this is stuff you used to do, stuff that you still do, but you don't want to do that anymore because you're trying to build your business. So you got to say no to those things. You got to say no to that because you're building your future. You're building something that's going to work for you in the long run, right? Like, most people want to scale their business. I mean, maybe not like to a point of a fucking corporation, but you might want to scale your business so that maybe it's a chain, or maybe you have a couple locations here or there, or maybe you guys do more than just what you started off doing, and now you're expanding and you're bringing in people to help you develop things, and maybe that's what you want to do, but you have to start somewhere. Like, I'm starting from nothing. Like, literally, I don't get paid for any of this. The only thing I ever really get paid for, which is very rare, is like on TikTok when I do my live streams and people give me gifts. That's the only monetary payment I've gotten from anything. Now, I've had people donate because I needed it, because I needed to pay some stuff. Right? And those people, thank you. If you're watching this, I appreciate you. You know exactly who you are. But I don't get paid for this. I've never really gotten paid for this. Like, even the money that I got from TikTok, I haven't even used it. It's just sitting in my PayPal account. Like, I don't know. Like, I do know, like, it'd be nice to use it, but at the same time, like, I want to use it towards the business. I don't want to just use it to use it. So there's that, right? There's that. So let's go ahead and go into the gatekeeper skills, because like your gatekeeping skills are what's going to help you like keep people who you don't want in out, and also keep in what you don't want to let out in. I was gonna say out again, but that you saw the gears turning. So we need to protect the manifestation, because like I said, this whole month is about a manifestation for me that's come in that I'm like really excited about, and I'll share with you guys eventually, maybe later this year. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, but when you're okay, so like I said, I have a secret, whatever. But the manifestation, like we're trying to make our manifestations exclusive. Like we don't want everybody to have access to those things, because they are for us first and foremost, and not everybody should have access to those things. Like even like let's say like you hear horror stories all the time. Well, not horror stories, but like I mean, kind of people win the lottery, and then their families like gimme, 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 and then they take and take and take until there's nothing left, and then you're like, what the fuck did I do? You know what I mean? And like a lot of us manifest to win the lottery, so I feel like a lot of people can like what is it relate, right, to wanting to win the lottery, because like one day you ain't got shit, you paid $2 or whatever it is to buy a lottery ticket in the States. I don't know what it is in other places, and then bam, you got millions of dollars. Like that's pretty fast, like cash, right? So when you're in that situation, you got to figure out, okay, now I have to like protect this asset of mine, right? I have to take care of it in a way that works for me, that I can uphold it, and that I can make sure that only the people that I want to bless with this get blessed. So you need to make a guest list, right? To survive, genuinely to survive, and also hold this manifestation in a more secure manner. You're going to need to create a guest list. Who or what will you allow into that energy, allow into that blessing, allow to take part of that blessing, because you don't want to give that to everybody. I don't care who they are. They might, yeah, maybe, maybe you have a parent that's horrible with money, right? And maybe for a fact, if you give them money, even though they're your fucking parent and they raised you, that they're just gonna waste it, right? And you don't want to do that. Like maybe instead of doing that, right, you give them like, oh, they say I need a new furnace. I don't know why they came to me, but maybe they need a new furnace, and then instead of giving them the money to get the furnace, because you know that they gonna do something stupid, you buy the new furnace and watch it get installed into their house. You know what I mean? So like there's ways around this, right? There's ways to like handle this. And of course, right now I'm talking about money, and earlier I was talking about relationships, and it can be with anything, right? It can be with anything. Whatever you're manifesting, whatever you want to manifest, right? It's all about you. What you want, honey? What do you need? So when you so I have been doing I think I've been doing a fantastic job at not telling everybody or showing everybody my squish, my fluff, my underbelly, right? I think I've been doing a really good job at doing that. And I feel like, I mean, of course, in the beginning, I feel like I was more forthcoming with a lot of information, which I feel like I shouldn't have been. But I mean, it's not like it was detrimental. Like, no one showed up to my house. I don't think anyone's ever going to show up to my house. I don't know. Anyway, um, that, I don't know why I said that. But like there's a way to share with people without sharing with people. Like you can tell them like, oh yeah, like this thing happened and it's nice and I like it and it was cool. And that's all you have to say. Like you don't explain, you don't owe nobody a damn thing. I don't give a fuck if they're their mama. I don't give a fuck if they almost died giving birth to your ass. You don't owe her shit. You don't owe nobody anything. Nobody. You owe no one nothing. No kind of explanation. You don't have to explain yourself. The only person you owe anything to is yourself. You only owe anything to yourself. So remember that going forward. But when I'm explaining these things, when I'm trying to like help, because like I'm learning right now. Like I'm in the process, which is probably not probably, it is. This is the best time for me to explain these things, because I am currently learning and developing them for myself. So if I'm in this energy, then I'm better to better able to explain and develop and share with you my process. My process for explaining things without giving it all away is literally being vague about it. I mean, it's probably the best thing. It took a long time. It took years for me to get to a point. Instead of just like completely shutting people out, now I'm just more vague about it than telling everybody everything. I don't like to lie to people, but I also don't like telling everybody all my business. So when I get to a point where I'm trying to talk to somebody or whatever, I usually let them lead the conversation, because most of the time people don't really want to push that hard anyway. But for the people who do want to push hard, like, oh, but what is it? But what is it? I mean, you might be from the future and you already know what it is. you're like a time traveler right now. You're going back in time in my journey. Hi, hello, little love bug. Hi, please don't poop on me. But anywho, I don't know if you guys want to see her. She's pretty. They eat mosquitoes. If you guys didn't know, but she doesn't have a mate right now. She's probably about to go find one. But anywho, um, when I am sharing things with people, when I am trying to explain things in a way that doesn't give it. Okay, so hi, please don't land in my hair. Hi. Okay, she landed over there. Anyway, let's say my big secret, right? Let's say my big secret is that I'm pregnant. I'm not pregnant. Okay, I'm not pregnant. There's no way that I'm fucking pregnant. But let's say that I am, right? And I don't want you guys to know, like, it was a great experience. Like, I've always wanted to be. I have always wanted to be pregnant. But let's say I didn't want to tell you, right? Because you can't tell. Like, at early stages, you can't fucking tell. So you can keep that shit a secret until you start showing, right? Or maybe you never show, because some people don't show. But anywho, let's say that's what my secret is. And it's not, okay? It's not. And I'm not pregnant. I swear to God. If you guys are like, oh my God, congratulations. I'm not. No. Okay. Anyway, let's say that's my secret. But I want to tell you guys, like, about the process, because maybe it took me a while to get pregnant. Maybe that happens. But I'm just trying to relate to you, because you're having a rough day, and I've had rough days. Clearly, if I've had rough days, if I've miscarried and whatever, and it looks like it's going to be healthy, all the way to term. I want to sit down and tell you, like, in a way, like, the shit that I many years. It took me many years to finally get to a point where I was actually able to reach my goal, actually able to reach the things that I was trying to achieve. And I wanted to kill myself, you know what I mean? Sorry, trigger warning. But maybe that's something that I went through, and I want to express to you, like, hey, the nights are dark, but the sun always comes up in the morning. Like, there will always be light at the end of the tunnel. Like, there's always another side to this. There's always a new outline. Not new outline. What? There's always, like, there's always an, I just want you to know that that is something that I've been through, and that I'm just telling you, like, it gets better, right? It's something that you can totally work through. But now I'm in a situation where I'm actually, like, fulfilled with the work that I put in and the things that I've gone through, and now I know more than I did before. In any way, did I say I was pregnant? No, I did not. But I was able to express that I understand that the shit is hard, that the shit is tough, that this is not easy. It is never easy work. And I always tell you guys all the time, this is not easy work. Putting in the work for yourself is hard work. It is not something that you can just fucking do and once and expect it to be all hunky-dory fine forever. No, you gotta keep going. It is a perpetual process that takes your entire fucking life. Yeah, I said earlier it's good to be intimate with yourself, but guess what? You got to do that your entire life, because you're constantly changing, constantly having bodily changes, constantly experiencing different things. Different things come in your life and affect you in ways you never thought about. So you have to check in with yourself, especially for those situations. But I'm not saying that's the only time you need to check in with yourself. You need to constantly be checking in on yourself. This work is not easy. I will tell you until I'm blue in the face, until this color, I mean, I don't think I'll be this colored, but until I'm blue, that this is all, this work that you do is so important for you and yourself, your loved ones, anyone that you want to bring into your life. It is very important for you to do this. because no one else is going to do it for you. Like, straight up, no one's going to do this for you. I wish I could do all the work for you. Like, I wish I can give you all my progress, right? I can't. But what I can do is share with you the progress that I've gone through without giving everything away, because I don't need to share everything with everyone, right? I don't. So, practice being unavailable to the static, the rap, the whatever. Talking to yourself, maybe you record it, you watch yourself, I can tell, you know what I mean? You could do that. But practice. I mean, when I was a kid, I used to practice talking. I used to practice all kinds of shit with Bear, because Bear was my best friend. Like, I did not have any siblings growing up. I had cousins, but I mean, we were kind of like sisters. Like, we were really close, but we weren't. I mean, it wasn't like I was living in the same house as them. I mean, when I was first born, I think we were for like a couple months, and then they moved out. But what the fuck am I gonna remember the first couple months of being alive? Anyway, but like, I didn't have anybody growing up, so I use Bear, right? Wait, we talked. We had deep conversations. You know what I mean? Like, I talked to Bear. I talked to my stuffed animals. You got stuffed animals, talk to them. You got a dog, cat, fish, mouse, turtle, bearded dragon, snake. Talk to them. Of course, they can't give you the same feedback that you probably would like from another human, but at least you can like talk to somebody about whatever it is, or a way to express yourself in a way that's not going to give everybody all the goods. Like there's a way, there's a way to dress sexy, and then there's a way to dress slutty, right? And we know there's a difference, right? So take it from like from that like perspective. Like, you don't want to show everybody everything, but you want to show something, right? If you're a woman, you probably, I mean, like, it doesn't matter who you are. You probably understand. I mean, to an extent, right? I'll see another example. So you know the secret formula, right? You know the secret sauce to I was gonna say a bench press, but that doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm pretty sure you'd want to share that with a lot of people, who are not doing it correctly and are fucking up their backs and their shoulders. But I don't know. I don't know why I was gonna say that. Okay, let's move on. But when you practice being unavailable for things that you don't tolerate, or things that like fuck with you, things that like are not helpful to your growth, and hinder you from your growth, um, you got to do it without feeling guilty, right? You got to get to a point where you can do it without feeling guilty. Like, to this, like, I still feel guilty about a lot of things, but I've gotten to a point where I'm better at saying like, hey, I can't handle this right now, so I'm walking away. And I've had to do it recently with my cousins, actually. I had to walk away because I was getting stressed the fuck out over something that did not need to be stressful, like, at all, like, at all. But I walked away for a day, and then I came back, and I was like, this is why I walked away. And they were like, oh, that makes sense. I get that. Understandable. Now let's talk about what happened, because now we need to address the actual thing that happened, right? And you can do that without feeling guilty. I didn't feel guilty. I felt good, because I was like, thank God I can, like, leave that alone for a little bit and then come back when I'm ready. And it happened to be the next day. Maybe it would ended up being 2 days or 3 days or whatever, you know what I mean? But I was able to come back the next day. But don't feel guilty about it. Like, don't feel guilty about putting up your boundaries. I'm also gonna put the boundaries post here too, because I have several of them, but there's one I'm specifically thinking about. Do not feel guilty about your boundaries. Like, your boundaries are there to keep you safe, keep you sane, keep you whole, keep you within yourself, so that you're not. The best way I can describe it is so that you're not leaking everywhere. So you're not letting everybody into that feast, and then all you got is scraps, right? That's the best way I can describe it, because we've been talking about feasts, we've been talking about monarchs, and all this nice stuff, and luxury, and all that. So I want you guys to really sit down and think to yourself, what do I tolerate? What don't I tolerate? What do I choose to tolerate? Like, what is something that I want to be able to hold? What is something that I want to be able to manifest into my life? What is something I want to bring into my life? And then also then thinking to yourself, okay, now what do I need to do in order to do said thing? And when you are able to sit down and do that, you can build that guest list. You can build a list of requirements, at least for right now in this time. Like, of course, those things will change. And another thing I like to say about boundaries is that they need to be fluid, because you need to be able to change them and move them as need be. And I like to say ice, because you can freeze them apart if you need to. Like, stay out. But then you can also like make it thin, or so then you can kind of see through it, right? Or you need to like change it around so that it can be a different height, and like only like whatever. Make it like your boundaries should not be cinder block walls, because cinder block walls are cinder block walls. Those are not boundaries. We're talking. I think right now I'm really sitting on it. There's no physical like line here. Of course, there's like a road, like a trail, but there's no physical line here. Like, we just know that this is where this part ends and this part begins, right? And that's what boundaries are. I think that's mic droppable. I'm not gonna drop the mic. It's already down here. I'm not gonna drop it. I could though, but I'm not going to. So your homework is who needs to be moved off the guest list, right? Or what? It doesn't have to use persons, people. It doesn't have to just be people. Like, it can be a thing. Maybe you want to stop smoking. You can take that off the guest list. Um, and then the prompt for this week is, where are you sacrificing your medicine to keep someone else comfortable? So where are you sacrificing your boundaries, your sanity, your being, in order to keep other people comfortable? Like, let's quote the other day on Pinterest, like, who are you turning into a pond for if you're a fucking ocean? Well, I mean, that's not exactly what it said, but that's how I took it. Like, if you're an ocean, a vast ocean, I know I am. I know I am, honey. I'm a vast ass, magical, deep, huge ass ocean that got Vanta Black in the bottom. I mean, of course, we got like, creatures and stuff everywhere, but I'm a vast ocean. I don't want to be shallow for anybody because they can't swim. If they can't swim, then don't get in the waters. I'd rather you not get in the water in the first place than get in and start drowning, then blame me for being an ocean. Like, that don't make no fucking sense. Like, you don't get into the ocean and then get bit by a shark and then get pissed off because you got in shark infested fucking waters. I'm not saying that all the ocean is full. Okay. Let's say you're in an area, it says shark area, right? And you get in that shit and you're like, and you get bit by a fucking shark. That's not the shark's fault. It's your fault, bitch. Sorry, but it's your fault. You should have never jumped in there. Why would you do that? Why would you do something that literally tells you not to do and then you do it anyway? Like, what is that? That's a fucking boundary right there. Literally the local people are saying, if you get in this water, you gonna get fucked up. And you got in the water anyway? How does that make any sense? Right. Okay. So if you gonna be ocean, be an ocean. That's the quote. That's the quote that I saw. So yeah. So like, where are you sacrificing your medicine, right? Where are you sacrificing your exclusivity to make other people feel comfortable because they feel like they should have a part of your life? And in reality, they don't need shit from you. You don't owe nobody nothing, not even your fucking partner. Let's say you're in a relationship. Let's say you are 60 years young and you've been with your spouse for 40 years, or maybe 42 years. Maybe you guys got married, maybe you guys got married at 16. I don't know, 44 years. Anyway, but you've been together for a long time. You don't know them shit either. You don't owe them shit. Nah, you ain't even gotta explain. I'm sorry, there. Like, you ain't gotta explain nothing to them. You don't, because like, you don't, but you should, because that's you guys. If you got you basically what I'm saying is, you can only control yourself. You can't control other people. Doesn't matter how long you've known them. That's just the laws of the universe. I don't make them up. This is just how humans are, how we are. We can't really influence anything outside of ourselves besides our own behavior, and our own behavior then trickle effect affects other things. So it's very important to start with ourselves. Like when Michael Jackson said, I'm looking at the man in the mirror, I'm asking him to make a change, because that's the only thing he could do. He can only change himself. Yeah, he made amazing music. Yeah, he talked about the environment. Yeah, he talked about all kinds of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's up to every individual to make that change. And that's another reason why I keep saying this shit is hard, because it's not easy. A lot of people don't want to make the change. That's why the world look like it do. Plain and simple. Like, I don't talk about political shit, but that's why it look like the way it do. Because they don't want to do the fucking self work. They just want to gimme, like a fucking toddler. Anywho, all right, I'm gonna check out now. If you guys like this, follow me on all my other stuff. The link tree's down below, or you can go to the channel home and then you can find all that there. I love you guys so very much, and I just want you guys to have a good quality life. That's why I do this. That's why I do it for free. That's why I'm literally sharing all my experiences, because, well, most of my experiences, because I just want you guys to have a better life. That's it. That's all. I love you guys so very much. I hope everyone has a full rest of your day, wherever you are on that 24-hour scale, even if it's like literally a minute before midnight. I hope you have a wonderful minute before midnight. Okay, love you guys. Bye.